Chelsea Football Club is like yin and yang, good news and bad news. We're going to start with the good news. Wesley Fofana looks set to return in January. This is confirmed on Instagram with a cheeky little hint. Number two, we've got Colwill and Malo Gusto out of international duty. We're going to explain what's going on and should we be worried. Let's get in. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys. It's the first day of the international break and I guarantee you a lot of you are bored already because low-key I am as well. But we have got a jam-packed video with two very interesting topics and one massive debate. The debate is regarding the left back. Look, the reality is Chelsea have got three candidates for that slot: Ben Chilwell, Correa and Levi Colwill, and we're going to have to talk about who, in my opinion, would be the best choice to play in that position and what I would go with if I was Mauricio Pochettino. And I put the poll out for the rest of you to vote, and you guys did in very good unison, and the result kind of shocked me. But before we get started, I need you lot to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I want to hit at least 750 likes on this video. So literally, if every single one of you that's watching now, we should do this with no problem. So do it now, please. Now let's get started. Wesley Fofana has given us a very good indication from the outset right now that he's going to be returning in January. What has happened? 90 Min have released an article on Instagram, and usually I don't quote 90 Min. However, today I'm going to, because Wesley Fofana all but confirmed it. So on Instagram, he liked their post where they said that he's going to be returning to training in around about December and then outdoor training in January and potential return in late January. He hit the like button on that. I got very excited. But the real issue here is we know that this is true. And the reason we know that this is true is because we know players spend a lot of time on social media. People of my age, people of your age, whoever's watching, you're watching YouTube content of football related. So what makes you think that these individuals aren't going to be doing the same? Like, the reality is they've got a lot of time in between training. They've got a lot of time when they're traveling, and they got a lot of time on their phone. So they're going to be watching. We know based purely off B, right? Todd Bowley's account liked one of my tweets that went viral. Number two, Mason Mount's dad has blocked me due to the fact that I said his son will not be passing the ball to Mikhailo Mudryk. I didn't even tag him, but yet I'm still blocked. Make that make sense. More importantly, and to the point, Wesley Fofana is a very good defender, and I think we've forgotten how good he actually is, because the narrative now is, well, we need a new right-hand-sided centre-back. And I don't know why, if Wesley comes back as a player that he is. However, the question is, will Wesley come back the player that he is? Because on this piece of paper, I've got some notes that are going to be very alarming. He's had 2 knee injuries in his time at St. Etienne, 6 days and 19 days. Then he had a hamstring and a knee injury the season after that kept him out for nearly 40 days. After that, he had a broken fibia, kept him out for nearly 2/3 of a year, 223 days. He missed nearly 63 games for Leicester City during that period. He comes back, he has another long injury at Chelsea where he is 71 days and 55 days, meaning it's 26 games missed. And again, just when he recovered, he's been currently out for 120 days. This is 15 games in total, but these games are going to rack up. It's going to get close to 30, 40 games. And the problem now is, can we actually count on Wesley Fofana to stay fit? And I don't think we can. So Chelsea got a decision to make. Do you go with buy a new centre-back, which I don't think is the solution, or do you give Disasi, Levi Colwill, Thiago Silva and Badiashile an opportunity to grow, and then you plug Fofana back in, and then you move from there? And I think that's the way we should go. I think Badiashile and Levi Colwill is the partnership for the future if Fofana doesn't fix himself. Otherwise, that's just my opinion at this moment in time. I can't lie to you, it's kind of been very positive news because I really like the player. I'm really high on him. I hope he comes back and I hope he's raring. Now we need to talk about the bad news. And the negative news here is that we don't know the status of these players. However, we know that they have left their international camps. Malo Gusto, the right back for Chelsea Football Club, has been forced to withdraw from international duties from France. He is now going back to Cobham. L'Equipe is confirming that he has got a knee ligament issue in his right knee, and after an MRI scan, they decided that it was best to be precautionary about this and let him just rest and not put strain on his knees. For me, this is the best decision honestly, there's no need to force him to go. However, the problem here arises is I think Gusto has a very good opportunity to be the #1 right back going to the Euros, purely based on the fact that he is the only right back in that squad at this moment in time. He is defensively sound, so Didier Deschamps is going to love him. He's comfortable on the ball, and I think he's better than Koundé at right back, because Koundé is a centre back and is very uncomfortable on the ball, if you ask me. When he plays at right back, at centre back, he's very comfortable. But when the moment he has to go further forward, I feel like he struggles. But then is the bad news regarding Levi Colwill. And Levi Colwill was out of the Chelsea game on the weekend against Manchester City. And all of a sudden, fans were asking questions. Is he dropped? Is this an injury? Well, we found out that he's got a shoulder issue. So Levi's got a shoulder issue and has been forced to pull out of the England squad. He turned up to England. He got checked up. And the reason this happens is basically the England doctors want to confirm that this guy's genuinely injured. They don't want to take the word of the club where my player's injured, and all of a sudden he's not really injured, they just don't want to release their player, and the players agreed to do it. So he turned up, he got checked, and he's going to get rested. I don't know whether he's going to be fit enough for the Newcastle game, but this is a good 2-week spell for him to rest, Malo Gusto to rest, and Nkunku to rest, and then Romeo Lavia to rest, and hopefully they come back raring to go, make the bench, and then we build from there. Look, the reality is this is a very good opportunity for Levi Colwill to develop and get more regular minutes at Chelsea for next year, for us to hit the top 4, or I think push for the title. Because I'm not going to lie to you, it's been a while since we've pushed for the title, and I want us to start being a club that starts doing that again, because it's been too long. So now we need to talk about the conundrum at left back, right? And I think calling it a conundrum is actually kind of deep, because it's a fortunate problem to have. It's the type of problem that all managers most probably are begging for, because the reality is we at this moment in time are a very good entity at left back. We've got Ben Chilwell, who is meant to be a very good player as our vice captain, and to be honest, he's a very adequate left back. I think I'm being very harsh. I think he's a good left back. He does his job. You know that one. Like, I don't think he's anything special. And I think with the injuries that he's had, he's really got hit from a physical standpoint. He's no longer as explosive as he once was. And I think his explosiveness was one of the elements that made him as good as he was, in my personal opinion. I don't know how you lot feel about this. I think he could be better positionally, defensively, but I still think he's a competent left back. Like, he's a top 4 left back. Then we've got Marco Correa. And the fact that Marco Correa scored the highest on the poll tells me everything I need to know about football fans as a community in general. Because if I told you a month ago Marco Correa would be the first choice in the poll that I released on our community page, you lot would have said, you're smoking, budge, you're talking nonsense, who's your drug dealer, why are you an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know ball, you're a twat. Like, you genuinely get expressions like that whenever you give an opinion that's against the curve. But now, a month later, after a few good performances, everyone thinks he should be a guaranteed starter. It's not even a debate. And why? It's because he's got a little bit of Tony Rudiger in him. He's very front-footed. He's always aggressive. He's trying to always do a forward pass. Whenever the ball goes in, he's a rat. He's hassling, he's harrying. And he's just very aggressive in the way he defends. And he looks busy. And you know what? Cucurella is a good player. I'm not going to be harsh. Then we have Levi Colwill out of position. And this is more of the Arteta and the Pep Guardiola route, where you have a centre-back at left-hand side, or the Xavi Hernandez where he plays Koundé at right-back. And then you have 3 centre-backs, and then when you're attacking, it goes into a back 3, they spread it out, and they're almost like allowing the fullback, one of the fullbacks, to push up and almost turn into a winger. So that's where Levi Colwill comes in. And I don't know what I would prefer. Honestly, thinking about it now, because I just keep changing my mind, I think Levi Colwill is a centre-half, so I don't want him there. And out of the 2 left-backs that we have, I prefer Cucurella. And the reality is, Ian Matson's not even in consideration at this moment in time. So this is mad. So Cucurella would be my first choice. I'm not that high on Ben Chilwell. He's at the moment injured. So hopefully he'll be back soon to make some firm competition and slowly get back to the form that everyone always was calling him our best player. But it is what it is. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. If you made it this far, I would greatly appreciate if in the comments, if you told me which player you think is the best out of Cucurella, Levi Colwill, and Ben Chilwell. Secondly, hit a like button. Thirdly, subscribe to the channel. And if you want more content, football related content, hit me up on the TikTok. That's where I make videos about all other clubs, and you know, we'll enjoy it. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.